Oh, hello. Welcome if you are new here, welcome back if you are not. For those who are new here, you can call me Ash. I run a small crochet business that specializes in sensory and fidget products. And I have a show this weekend, and that's what you're here for. So today's Monday. The show is on Friday. No. And the show is on a Saturday and Sunday. It is a 2-hour show. Oh my god. It is a 2-day show, which I have never done before. You want to come up here? Hi! It is definitely the biggest show I've ever done. I don't really know what to expect. My stock is very low, so I'm going to be spending most of this week trying to get my stock up, which is hard because I work full-time and I also just have a lot going on this week. So we'll see how much I can get done. My goal, stock-wise, is to have between $1,000 and $2,000 worth of stock, so that if I do end up selling out, it is a good return. The booth fee, I'm sharing a booth with my good friend at Starcatcher Studio, so we're paying $90 each, which is really not that bad for this big of a show. So, I don't know, I would just feel better having at least $1,000 worth of inventory. So, yeah, I'm going to crochet frantically for the rest of the night, and I will take you guys through this week with me, and I will also take you to the show. So, stick around for the end to see how the show actually goes. Okay, bye. morning. I think I slept with my makeup on last night. Happy Friday. The show is tomorrow. And the next day. My brain is so fried. I'm also hungry. I'm gonna eat some saltines. My voice sounds horrendous. It's been a very busy week. And I don't feel necessarily ready for this show, but I'm not freaking out. I think because it is a 2-day show, yes, but I have no idea how busy it's gonna be. If we get like halfway through the show tomorrow and I'm almost sold out, then I will start freaking out. I'm probably gonna bring a lot of yarn with me to work on some stuff while we sell, because the show is super long. So tomorrow it's from noon to 10 p.m. So 10 hours. And then on Sunday, I think it's like 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., so another 7 hours. So am I probably very underprepared? Yes. Do I care right now? No. I also just had a dream that all of my plushies like caught on fire. And I only had like keychains left for the sale because, I don't know, because like the yarn or something was like spontaneously combustible. I don't know, so maybe I am stressed and I just don't realize it. Anyway, I'll tell you a little more about the show. So it's called Oddmall. If you are in Northeast Ohio, you may have heard of it. They do a lot of shows throughout the year. Like a lot. And I just like the aesthetic of it. You'll have to go to the website and see what I mean. I would go there as a teenager just to shop. So it's going to be nostalgic to actually sell there. And I don't remember from my teen years how many people were there shopping, but I do remember it being a very good time. They have like a costume contest. I think they'll have food trucks, a bunch of like some oddity people, some like comic book collectors, things like that, you know, like nerdy, weird stuff, which I am all about. And I think there's going to be some tattoo artists there. If you watched my last video, you saw that I got an impulse tattoo at the last craft show I did. So I'm going to try really hard not to get one tomorrow. Unless I gave myself the stipulation, if I make $600, I will get a tattoo. I don't see that happening, but that is my stipulation. So if you want to see how that plays out. I want to go to sleep so bad. It's currently like 6:30 a.m. 6:45 a.m. I have to leave for work at 7:30. I'm hopefully getting off early today so I can finish up some things. But it's been a crazy busy week, as I've said like 5 times already. So on Monday, all I did was crochet, which was nice. But then on Tuesday, I saw Fall Out Boy, which is why my voice sounds like this. And my legs hurt from jumping around. And I think I got back from that at like 2 a.m. Am I doing this correctly? Okay. And then Wednesday, I was gonna crochet all night, but I got a flat tire. So I had to call the tow truck and wait for the tow truck and then turn in my car and fill out paperwork and stuff. And then last night I went to a baseball game with my family, but it got rained out halfway through because we had these massive storms. But I still got home at like 10 o'clock. And our power was out, so I couldn't see anything to crochet. So now we're at today. For the show tomorrow, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I am sharing a booth with my friend Nova, who owns Starcatcher Studio. They're an illustrator. So you will probably see them in this vlog. We do a lot of shows together, and if you have other crafty friends, I definitely recommend trying to share a booth, especially if you don't know the vibe of the show yet and you don't want to splurge on the cost of a booth and take that risk. For example, I think the booths at Odd Mall were $180, so we're paying $90 each, and we're splitting like I think a 10 by 10 space. I will say though, you should ask the person who's putting on the show if you're allowed to split a booth, because some shows, especially if they are juried and you have to apply for them, they will not be happy if you like show up and there's actually two different businesses selling and the other business did not get approved. Especially if you're just starting out. If you want to just have like a little display at your friend's booth and then come and sell with them so you can get some experience, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that. Okay, I'm going to eat some more crackers and drink my coffee and hopefully get a pierogi done by the time I have to leave for work. And then tonight I will show you guys my progress. Is that stinky? It's about 4 o'clock. I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but we can set up the day before. So we're going to do that. I think we can set up from 5 to 8 tonight, and it's about an hour away. So I'm gonna go down there in about an hour and set up as much as I can. The issue is I don't have a table. I used to have a 6-foot table, which was doable when I had a minivan, but God rest her soul, That minivan is no more. So I was looking at Walmart and they should have a 4-foot table that folds in half. That should fit in my car. So I'm just gonna stop at Walmart on the way down and really just hope that one is in stock, because I can't really set up anything if I don't have a table. So before I head out, I'm going to pack up as much products as I can. I'm going to finish some things real quick, weave in some ends, things like that, so that I can set up at least a few products tonight, because when I get back, I'm just going to be trying to grind out some products. That doesn't work. Do you guys want a little haul? Because I forgot to film in the stores. So at Walmart, I got 2 tables, which you will see in a few minutes when I am actually setting up. Lint rollers, obviously. I realized that I'm really low on scrunchies, so I also got these extra large scrunchies so I can make more. And then someone recommended me these press-on nails, so I might do those tomorrow. Okay, you're down here now because I got nervous, but I needed more jump rings for my keychains, and they didn't have the exact brand that I needed. I really hope these are strong enough, but I got these Hildy and Joe jump rings, and then I also got these triangle ones because they just looked fun. And I need more fun yarn for my scrunchie, so I also got this Bernat Pipped Squeak super soft yarn. And my friend just had her birthday, so I wanted to get some extra presents for her. So I got this Hello Kitty Poppet, one shell of a good time because her name is Michelle. They had 1 clearance cancer candle left, so I got her that. It smells really good. It smells like fresh laundry. And then I got sour watermelon for my boyfriend and these dark chocolate mint Kit Kats for me. Okay, now we can go set up. I'm so tired. It is almost 11 o'clock. It was actually really nice to set up the day before. When we got there, I realized I still had so much to do. Like, I don't have any of my updated signage, so right now I'm on Canva trying to do that for tonight. I think I'm gonna get all my signage and printable stuff printed. And I think I'm gonna finish my keychains. And then I will do the plushies in the morning, hopefully.
if it's like things come at a normal, slow pace.
And I'm excited because this is again a no-so
guard, and then later on, when he was brought back to being a police officer, his gun was changed to a police baton instead. Booker.
Okay. I wanted to leave by 10. It's 10:30. I'm obviously not ready. I packed up a ton of yarn. Sorry, you're gonna get ready with me. Not the best lighting, but whatever. Anyway, I packed up the products that I had to finish. And since it's a 10-hour show today, I also just packed a ton of yarn so I can work on stuff. I still need to go to the bank. So I'm gonna get dressed really quickly, run through the bank, and then get to the show. As long as I get there by like 11:45, I think I'll be okay, because the show starts at noon and I am already set up besides a few things. So I think it'll be fine. I think I'm gonna go crazy and wear bike shorts today. I don't know, that's just the mood I'm feeling. I don't know what I'm gonna wear. Oh wait. I have like these boxer shorts on, but then I'm also gonna wear bike shorts. I feel like I'm definitely gonna regret this hoodie sweater thing, because yesterday when we were setting up, it was like 1,000 degrees in there. It's I don't know if I've told you guys where it is yet, but it's at the Stark County Fairgrounds. So like the indoor portion of where you have a county fair. So it's not necessarily heavily air conditioned. So as I said earlier, I wanted to have at least $1,000 worth of product for this show. That just felt right to me. And I think I did. I don't have time to do the math right now, but I will put the breakdown right here. So this is what I brought to the show. In terms of outcomes of the show, if I make less than 300, I am going to consider it a failure. Sorry. I have all this like deep acne popping up on my chin, and my lymph node is swollen right under there, and it's really bothering me. Okay. So anyway, if I make less than 300, I'm going to consider it a failure. Because for 3 days, especially since it's a total of like 17 hours, 300 is really not enough. And I will consider it a success if I make 500 or more, and then anything in between is like kind of okay. And I'm holding true to what I said earlier, that if I make 600 or more, I will get a tattoo. So yeah, that's my hopes for this show. And my camera's gonna die, so I guess I will see you on my phone. If you've seen my market prep vlogs before, you know what I'm gonna say. I got the cash, I got some gas, and I got, say it with me. So I just pulled in and there's still, you can't even see my clock. There's still like 15 minutes until it starts, and the parking lot is packed. This Barbie is feeling manic. So, God, I always accidentally open my trunk. Anyway, I feel like poopy. My head hurts, I am tired, I am disappointed. I don't know. I'm not a happy camper, as you could say, right now. I'm trying not to cry. Did I already mention that? The first 10 hours of the show are done. 10 out of 16. I'm gonna give you a guess of how much I made in 10 hours. Did you guess 90? Because it was $90 in 10 hours. I made 5 sales. That's half a sale per hour. We actually left early. It's only 9 o'clock. It was supposed to end at 10. But people were packing up. At least 3 tables packed completely up and went home, which I'm assuming means they are not coming back tomorrow. Which I don't blame them. I didn't get a sale for the first 3 hours or the last 3 hours. Yeah, like I said, I only had 5 sales, and I only sold my mini plushies. So I only brought 6 mini plushies, and I sold all 6. Oh, one person bought 2. That's why it's only 5 sales. And I'm not going to make more for tomorrow because I'm irritated and exhausted. I did make my booth fee. I made my booth fee exactly. So I did spend money on french fries and hot dogs. And then this one vendor had, if you buy the mug of root beer, you can get unlimited refills all weekend. So I did do that, which is probably a bad idea because now I have a headache, probably from drinking way too much sugar. And now I gotta drive home and go to bed and do it all again tomorrow. Also, I got bored and I still had my Walmart bag in there, so I put on these nails. And I think I hate them. They feel gross. I'm gonna try to file them down. And I just did them wrong because I've never done it before. You can't really see, but I don't know. I just feel like I feel dumb and defeated and just not good all around. So, sorry to be a downer in this video, but I feel like I need to be realistic because not every market is going to be like, I sold for one day and I made $500 and it was so easy. Sometimes it is like that, but I need to show you the times when it's not because it sucks and it will happen. Me and my friend who I'm sharing the booth with, we thought about not coming back tomorrow, but I mean, we already paid, and maybe by some miracle we will get more sales tomorrow. Good night. Okay, so I did not film anything on the second day. I think I was so defeated that I just brought my Switch and played games and crocheted the whole time. But it's been a week since the show, so I waited to do my conclusion until I had more of a clear head and I wasn't speaking from anger and exhaustion. Yeah, the show was a complete failure. My very first complete failure. Which was bound to happen at one point. So, I mean, one show has to be the worst show, right? So, the breakdown. The first day I sold all 6 of my mini plushies, which go for $15 each, which brings me to 90. So that's all I sold in 10 hours, were 6 mini plushes. And then I also bought a hot dog and fries. So I made back exactly my booth fee on the first day and spent a little bit of it on food. On the second day, which was only 7 hours, drum roll please, I also made $90. I didn't really keep track because, like I said, I was so bummed out that I didn't want to. But I did sell 2 regular size stingray plushies that go for $25 each. And then I sold, at the very last minute, I sold a worm scarf, the yellow one, which goes for $40. So I made exactly $90 on both days for a total of $180. And if you remember, anything below 300 was my absolute failure mark, and I made almost half of that absolute failure mark. In total, I made 8 sales in 2 days. 8 sales in 17 hours, which is less than 1 sale every 2 hours. To give you an idea of how the show went. So if anybody's gonna come at me for playing video games at the show because, oh, it'll drive people away, they weren't there in the first place. Oh, I was so upset. I'm still a little bit upset. So I technically made $90, but then I spent probably $30 on food. So I walked away with $60 for 17 hours of selling. And not to mention, you know, making the products. I didn't even make enough money to pay myself to sit there. Which I don't even usually think about it that way. I don't think of paying myself to go to shows. But if you do think of it that way, I guess that's another way to think of how bad it went. I will tell you some of the things that I learned so that you do not make this mistake. Some of the red flags, which I do know the red flags, and I should have listened to them beforehand, but as I mentioned, these shows were a fond part of my childhood. I loved going to them and shopping at them and just vibing, so I was like, of course I want to sell there, and I didn't even think about the logistics from a seller standpoint. One red flag was they don't really have any social media. They have a website that stays pretty up to date, and I think they post the events on Facebook, but they don't have an Instagram. No, Instagram is a huge red flag. Facebook is okay, but they don't even really post on there. Most of the people who go are like me, and they've just gone to these shows for years, which is great to have a following, but also if these people are going to these shows 7 times a year, every year, they're not going to buy stuff at every show. Second red flag, it was not juried. If you don't know what juried means, it means you have to apply, and the showrunners review your application and try to select people to make a good show for everybody. Not being juried itself is not a red flag, but being not juried when the cheapest booth is, or second cheapest booth is $180, that should have been a big red flag for me, because what you're paying for with the booth fee, a lot of times, juried shows will have higher booth fees. A lot of that fee is kind of security and confidence that it will be a good show, if that makes sense. There is so much work that goes into organizing craft shows and markets that goes unnoticed by a lot of people. For example, if there are multiple of the same craft and product, that's not going to be good for anybody because there's just too many options to choose from, you know? So for example, at Odd Mall, there were probably 5 other crocheters. There were about 7 people selling like it was an oddities thing. So like taxidermy, bones, or bugs. Probably more than that, actually. There were probably 8 booths that were selling those 3D printed articulated dragon things. There was just a lot of multiples, and there wasn't a lot of foot traffic. So there were just people like walking down the giant fairgrounds, just like looking briefly at everyone's stall because it was a lot of booths of all the same stuff. So it was not good for anybody. Now, I always make a point to talk to the other vendors. I like to make a few friends at each show not just the people beside me, but people all around. And all of the people I talked to, some of them made a profit, but most of them barely made their booth fee, or they barely made any kind of profit at all. So everyone collectively had kind of a bad time. However, I do want to say this is not a dig on Oddmall at all. I do still love Oddmall. I think it's a great part of Northeast Ohio, and I will continue to be a shopper there. I will maybe ask them if they are hiring a social media manager because I think that would help a lot. Those are the red flags that I could think of off the top of my head. I'm very tired and I am preparing for another show that I have in 2 weeks. Yes, this one was a complete failure, as we've been over. And I think it's important to show you guys that as well, instead of you just watching hundreds of videos of people saying how much they made at a crochet market, and it's like hundreds or thousands of dollars, and they're like, wow, it's so easy, you can do it too. I think we should show more of the stuff like this, because it will happen. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking with me through this tumultuous vlog thing. Like I said, I do have another show coming up, and the video for that show will not include any crocheting, so if you get bored with all the crochet footage, make sure to subscribe and wait for that video to come out, because it will be more of a setup and sell with me kind of video. And I will show you what I bring along and how I set up and the process of the market itself and not the prep, if that makes sense. Love you all very much. Eat some snacks and drink some water, and I will see you next time.